Hi everyone, it's Jen from Mind's Eye, and we're going to do the psychic reading with the FDA, the CDC, the DEA, the DPH, community hospitals, and we're going to see exactly what it has for this week in store. So, right off the bat, we literally say that through the 26th to the 1st, there is something about the bird flu, but really we're going to talk about how the CIA is leaking out and adhering to and standing by how we actually are talking about COVID leaks. And I can't even believe it. Like, it's such a troll and a play on words that they actually see a leak, a vegetable on the table. I mean, this imagination and how it was conjured and caveat, which is a way of like dishing it out, really came out as star royalty that you can't even resound it. People are still having issues with COVID, post COVID. Like, they have a lot of problems with ears, nose, and throat. So when we look at it completely, and we're talking usually only the FDA and the CDC and the DPH, how is the CIA really handling this? I see this, and then I see this, and I see this, and it's a cup of Joe. So when I look at this and I say it's absolutely true, you can't even, they're seeing stars. They're really seeing stars, sacred geometrics. There's something about this, and it's not a play on words, and it's not to be funny. There's something with the eyes. There's something with the eyes. Some people get a distaste for it because of the way it's playing out, but really there's nothing of a containment issue right here. It really has to do with something about setting vibration. And when I hear it, it's through transmission. You can actually see how it all played out. Up into those who are saying that they really are highly attuned, that they really do have their chakras on, they're well balanced, and that they're seeing and coming out as psychic. It can be as a form of trauma, severe illness, and recovery. So when I'm looking at this fifth dimensional access, you're actually going to have to play it. You're going to have to play it. Sound codexes. This reminds me of 1991 on a through and through. So when I'm looking at it, mother and father healing, I do see that there's something about the elder generation who are still healing from COVID, and now we have bird flu. So when I'm looking at it, galactic core, it's all right here. It's not so much right here. And when I see Alcyone, you look at this and it looks like the North Star, so bright that you actually could be seeing stars. It's almost like such a slam in the face. It's something about taking chances also that they're looking at. This was something that the CDC, that I can see as a psychic, was seeing about taking chances, that the FDA just wasn't sure about. But when it came to the DEA and it came to actual COVID prevention, and then also a COVID remedy, it was something of a slew. That's all you need to know. So when I'm looking at it, light technology, a lot of them seem to have done better in like spring, like out in nature, light technology, being outside. So when I'm seeing dolphin play, it is a type of child's play at times. When it comes to this type of flu that's airborne, but there was something about bird flu being more droplet precautions than airborne precautions. So when I'm seeing Maya and it has this volcano with this earth almost cracked down the middle, you have to say, you have to look for the fissure. So rooted light, there's something about being under the Billy lights also this week. Planetary guardian. I'm actually seeing it at point blank. I have to say, you're going to have to really look at all your options when it comes to healthcare proxy, since they said it's such a bad case coming through, where I am almost having just a premonition of getting it. Universal heart, it is a laying on the table where there's kindness coming through much more, much more. And then here it is. We're talking about the golden egg. What is this golden egg? It's an opportunity through to few. So when I look at this actually becomes like a sacred union between federal agencies as everything comes through. All right, let's look at the tarot. All right. So when I look at this and I see the Ten of Cups in reverse to the Three of Swords, it means there's something of a discontent about family, and how we were talking about last week, how one day can disrupt your week when you look at the box of gloves and you have one glove missing. So when I see the Six of Wands, there's no victory. There it is. There's none of that. And you see this, you look, you have to say, it still really hurts again on the split of the deck. Now, as far as the FDA goes, I do see that going about. I see the containment issue. I see the bird. I see the flu, like a normal flu, flu A. But I'm also seeing how one of the immunizations actually comes through, and it makes no sense. It really makes no sense. Right down to the can of a drop. When it comes to the CDC, I really do see that containment due to universal precautions and epidemiology, but then I actually see this can of worms open over a plant in the office. But then when I look at the DEA, they say the containment issue is really a roll to a run-of-the-mill and a real run rich to be a bay. You have to say racketeering is still there. That's very common in racketeering. That's why they're probably involved. When I see the DPH, they're running the licensures over and over and over and over and checking and checking and checking. When it comes to the community hospital, they're counting how many people have had it. It actually counts. So when I see this and I see the Empress in reverse, nasty, nasty feminine energy that actually looks at it and you're like, what's actually true? I don't like it saying it outright like that. But there is like a walkthrough of I told you so. All right. What is true and what is not? All is most at bay. No securement has to do with actual legality of the insurances post United Healthcare. Recklessness. There was some sort of recklessness that came in through that investigation. And when I see it, it's not about it, and just think right through the words. That's what's going to cause the anxiety. When I see this, it will be put at rest by a dirty deal or no deal on the table that had no judgment, actual judgment in it. It had to do about greed. Because when you actually look at the whole investigation about the manifesto and you see the 10 of Pentacles with the 2 of Wands in reverse, there was no foresight. That literally means in anatomy and physiology, his frontal lobe was probably not working correctly to the left parietal. So when you see the 9 of Wands actually looking and being hypervigilant, I mean, for a lot of investigators are going to say, that's where it is. That's exactly where it is. Don't mind my cat. So when I see it and I actually say the 8 of Swords says, You can't even beat it right now. BEA. It's not something. Dentistry. When I'm seeing it at point blank, you look at the dentistry records, nothing is a match. Actually, like, there's something about exposure to flame. So it is a bit deceitful. This new offering comes to the table. Usually it's about a midweek, something new comes through. It will alleviate some loss, but there's really no skill in it. Like this is really easy. This is really easy. It does help because usually this card is heavy burden. Heavy burden. The Queen of Cups, it's intuitive. It's really intuitive. You have to say what is actually looking at all forms of inhibition to addiction, to fly by night, to criminal activity. But really, what is at a miss, an MIS? This Page of Pentacles is actually this so young of an offer that came forward of intuitive, of wishes, that the Knight of Pentacles came in even stronger, harder, to have a little bit of a type of dishonor with this Queen of Wands in reverse, of a put out, of a hard getting rid of a flame. King of Swords, it is usually what we say the legal contracts, but it really is a type of law enforcement on a plane like this. Right on the horizon. It's right there. Right at horizontal level. It's even below eye level at times. The Chariot, it's going to push forward. The Page of Wands says, nope, too young to kickstart it. Strength in reverse, it's weak. When you say the Hierophant, you have to say it is a little bit dictatorship, but the Knight of Swords comes through and it says it's at haste. It's at haste. Pull it back too soon. We have to focus on X, Y, and Z. Simplicity. But there is no finality per se, but there is alleviation. Alleviation on a Thursday. So when I look at it, monetary balance to actual energy balance is off. The walk away, the takeaway actually comes in with something that's usually what they call an AMA. There was no logic to it. No logic. So when you see it and you say the Six of Swords in reverse to the Page of Cups in reverse, it is a harsh move on reality. That's not something that you want on your record with the insurance. It is the takeaway of that emotional offer that the Knight of Cups brings in. But it's a working of one's everything being that all of a sudden this person who's probably ICU or CCU walks up and says, I'm good, I'm out. And then they say, unhappy wishes. Why? Payment source. What's your payer source? All right. White Sage Tarot. All right, Queen of Pentacles. It definitely is selling oneself when a community hospital does so well with the glove count and it seems so petty. It actually is assurance. It's assurance. Knight of Swords actually comes through and says it was an uppercut of an undercut to the feet. That the Seven of Pentacles said It was true. It was skill. It was two of swords in reverse. It was no like hazard, crossroad, railroad, all of it. Seven of swords says to me that it must be the way it needs to be in there sometimes, the way that it looks for anything. Hypervigilance, because it really is a type of liberation once it's there, getting healed. Six of Cups actually says this is not something to remember, especially 1982. The Six of Swords goes, no, go beat it. And then it's illusion, delusion. And then Three of Swords goes, you can't even be hurtful at this. Nine of Pentacles, highly prudent on a path. Two of Pentacles in reverse, again, imbalance. All right. Let's look at the runes. Watch the waters, lagu. Watch the flow. Watch how it flows through. Berkana, birch, birth. It means all the same thing. I don't know why I'm hearing birch water, but that is really something of like a movie about an August. Gift. When I look at this, I say it is a wheel of luck. It's highly strong that comes in for all these agencies this week. It is estate and heritage and culture. It has to do with someone who is fighting. Power, Urus. That causes this freeze. That actually has like GI symptoms, upper GI. Of this type of, again, ulcers. Upper GI issues. It's hidden. Defense. Highly defensive. It's like they know. They already know. When you look at it, use your instinct. When you get it together, you actually there's something about collecting. We kept seeing corners a lot today. All the other psychics, like corners, the way this is cornered. Usually that means collecting. At night. Last, faded, not faded. It is fated. That means it is new, it is surprise, but it can be controlled. We've already been through something similar. All right. Let's go to another oracle deck. Akashic Tarot. Money moves, chess game, watching the opponent per se. But when I'm looking at this as chess game, it's a move of a block down to like units. The King of Keys in reverse. I'm seeing like badges. All right, this is something what we call the Oracle of Delphi. And the Oracle of Delphi is usually something that is a prophecy. And it's already been foretold and it's already like been said. But as it plays its game, you just can't even believe how it all would connect. How would bird flu be a prophecy? It's something about Uriel and the Sphinx, especially as we keep seeing like culture and sand and dirt and looking at how it comes through. And there's something how we keep saying like right off the bat. It is not a muse, the muse in review. It's not even. You can't even see it, which makes this what they say faded illness not faded. And the faded meetings, like we've had the same crew of nurses and physicians and CNAs and other clinicians working with the same person. So when I look at it, it's already highly documented and who is used to everyone. So when I see it, you can't turn back time because you have to go in. You already know them and it's a new episode. But it really is nothing up in the air. It's like stagnant air in the homes. It's stagnation sometimes in certain areas and buildings. So when I look at the willow and I see the river, I have to say you have to go and look at how the water flows. It makes no sense. CENTS. But when it comes to bird flu, you'll understand the way the river runs through it. So when you look at reflection, you can actually still see yourself because at least out here in New England, a lot of the water has not froze over yet. But it's unfulfilled wishes on something. So when I'm looking at initiation and the Count of Saint Germain, it's something that someone stands up and says, I've been through this before. I've got to teach you. Will, wisdom, and mind, everyone's going to have to use everything, even brand new nurses. All of a sudden, it clicks on. It's an on switch. And everyone like understands and it's making actual sense of what is going on. All right, Literary Witches Oracle. There is this type of activity and tolerance. There is this everything about pacing oneself to actual pacing in their hospital rooms at times. And they're like, no, I can see it. I know what's going on, but there's no fever. There is a little bit of dishonesty when it comes to it, and they're still pacing themselves. There is mastery. Again, endurance. Cat, untamed venture. Definitely something about being written. I don't know why I'm seeing at the nurse's station like a log. Something has been seen before, and that's normal, especially if you're someone who goes behind a nurse's station. But it's something about a perspective, like it's just something that take what you can and leave what does not resonate anymore. So there is this type of like toxic masculinity when it comes to this. And it's not what everyone thinks, like I always explain, because I'm very sure of it, if it's true masculine energy like a man. But this toxic masculinity, when it comes to don't take what does not resonate. I can't even get the words out. This one actually makes a lot of people nervous. It's like grandiose thoughts at times. It stings when they say, just don't worry about it and just leave it alone if it's not resonating with you. It has to do with the body. When I seen that book at the nurses station at times, depending on how old the community hospitals are, it's something that the FDA is very used to, but it's not really seen a lot when DPH is through. And I don't know why we haven't been talking about OSHA a lot, but there's something of a humming around. There is this, and I'm looking at the unit for sterilizations, but I'm looking at it. There's like stories of each unit of how it got by. And then when I actually look at it, I'm looking at it straight point blank. Apple, it is schooling. Again, peacock keeps coming out. It's something of a presentation. So when I see this and I see power, there's like just natural power of energy of certain individuals that come through for this week who have been through this before or who are just really strong within themselves. All right. Lastly, let's look at the Starseed Oracle, and then we'll be done. All right. It's something of like all of a sudden they're new. They're like a new person after these severe illnesses. And it's like they have to be creative in their own way again. When I see this, it's soul growth. It's like a bit of a conflict. And again, like they're saying, you got to embrace your weirdness at times. They're trying to be creative. Really, really hard. When I see this, there's a lot of emotional healing on this huge change. A lot of longer body care, nourishment, tenderness, and rest. Whatever this bird flu is coming through. I don't know why I see a 9-month delay at times, depending on how bad they got it. Question everything, your intuition and your instinct. Call in support. This is where it's going to get tricky with insurance, especially home care, when they need that support and outpatient, and what is actually going to be true for it on getting the help that they need. So when I look at this and I say, how are employers going to be going through this again? You have to say, you just got to surrender to the sweetness of it, for a lack of a better term. Because when you look at this and you say, embrace the winter of the void, here it goes again. It's something about being tender to each other. There's something about it. It's like already churning on being nasty. Slow down, and if you can, try to be in nature. You'll understand what it means for each person. And there's something about a go on it, and it says just wait. Things are being woven. Just wait. So with that being said, that's all I have to say for the week for the holistic review. Any questions or concerns, go ahead and leave a comment or an email. A like and a share is appreciated, and we'll talk to you soon. Have a good night.